Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. Today we will be talking about the announcement trailer for Tempus Vitae. I'm Luciano Musela, the game director for Tempus. I'm also one of the co-founders and CEO of the company, and I wanted to take a moment to just think about all the time that went by since we started development on it. Tempus started on September of 2022, meaning 1 month prior to the release of our previous title. Well, previous after Beat the Champions, which was Icy Red, which I have right here, the poster for it. So yes, it was a parallel development for some time of many other projects, and it's been almost 4 years now, and it's been quite a journey. About 45 people, I would say, passed through the development of the game, meaning 45 different people work on the game, not at the same time, of course, but going back and forth inside of one team and another, and well, taking part on the Tempus journey. We also had at the peak of production about 35 people, so it's been quite the wild journey, I would say. Honestly, making this game has been a very interesting production experience, to not say something else, but also like it's been very fun to do so. We learned so much, and we did so many interesting things. The game has like insane bits of like technology inside of it, or different approaches that we have been doing to make it work. Because as you can see here right now in the trailer, the player is able to jump immediately between two timelines at will at any moment in time. Yes, you can literally press a button in your keyboard is the Q key. You press it and you're 200 years into the future. You press it again, you return, and you can spam that button over and over to jump between the timelines, to do whatever you desire, because your actions are free of you to choose. And what you do in certain moments in the present change out the future, as you saw in the trailer in a bit. For example, one of the things that you will mostly be doing with your actions is you can interact with someone, or you kill someone, is another way of interacting with them, and they will generate a new environment, a new timeline for you to explore based on what that person actually was meant to do in the future. But since they are no longer there, well, what happened with them, or there are things they were supposed to do when time passes by. So with that idea, we played a bunch of it with different cool components on how to play around with what you do in the present changes the future, and how we can play around with that, and of course to generate time paradoxes because of it, because otherwise, well, time is a very tricky thing. Aside, of course, is just straight up manipulating the consequences, which of course I will go more in detail in a bit. One of the things I also wanted to highlight was that one of the main abilities of the player, aside from traveling in time, is to alter the flow of time. Meaning, in the trailer you saw the ability to stop time entirely. This means, of course, well, a play on physics. You can basically leave things floating in midair if you wanted. You can kill someone and stop time, and their dead bodies will be like floating in space. But also, as you progress in the campaign, you will also be getting like abilities to slow time, to accelerate it, and other fun time abilities to just manipulate time, like as a general rule. Which of course is the premise of the game. We have been saying since forever, when we been pitching the game, that the game is the ultimate time game, and that's for a reason. And the reason is, of course, we wanted to grab all the general abilities you saw in different games into one. We wanted the game that celebrates time travel, and I'm not saying it lightly. I'm the biggest fan of time travel. This is my favorite movie of all time, yes. I loved Back to the Future so much, and I wanted to make a whole game based on time because why not? Let's celebrate it. It's mind-blowing. It's super interesting to have the whole concept of it, to be able to manipulate it. Of course, it bends all the rules of sci-fi and also logics itself and the thermodynamics of it. But I am not Doc Brown. I have no idea about all the science of it. It's just fun, of course. It's a play on it. But we did take things very seriously in terms of science and the mystery behind it all. You will see in glimpses of the trailer that there is a common name recurring at all moments, which is called Theia. Theia is the name of the abandoned space station where the actual game takes place. Theia, as a concept, as an idea of what could be, was born because of a theory that many years ago, how the moon was formed, our moon, the literal moon that is orbiting the Earth right now, was created because an asteroid, or a planet, it will be the proper name, crashed into planet Earth, and the debris of it generated the moon, or pieces of it generated what the moon is today all about. So we named the space station, which is orbiting the moon, Theia. Similar to what happened with history. And I think it's quite a fun name to make lots of things very symbolic. The game has lots of things regarding it. Not sure if you thought about it, but the name Tempus Vitae has a meaning, of course, in Latin. The time of life is a very interesting concept also in regards to the story, which I'm not going to spoil today. You will find it out sooner rather than later, but that's also one of the things that we wanted to play around with. Everything has meaning and purpose, and we did lots of things regarding that idea. The game, like I mentioned, is a story-based game, and I mentioned a campaign, like a single-player mode. It's a Metroidvania, it's a non-linear experience, but of course it does have a story, a linear story, that you go through and to unlock the actual mysteries behind the Theia space station, but also you. You are Alex, or Alejandra Liberti, which is an astronaut that in the year 1985, she was in doing an experiment on the moon about the exploration of time. But something goes wrong, something happens, something occurs, and well, you wake up in the year 2185, lost there, like you have no idea why you're there, and you need to figure out what happened, why I'm here, what's going on, what do I need to do to move through this space station, but also to move through time, because I need to go back to my timeline, and I need to go back with my brother, because your brother, called Adrian, was actually your partner alongside you in this mission. He was also with you in the year 1985. Is he here in this timeline? Where is he? Is he still back home? Are you the only one affected by the experiment? Well, you need to figure out all of the things while you play the game. And there are like lots of mysteries around that. Your own story from the past, the present, and then the future. Because at some moment in the game, you get the very cool ability to travel in time. The one that I mentioned, 200 years into the future, you go and you return at any moment you want. And it's a very fun ability to play around with. Which of course I would like to tell a bit more about it. Because you can not only just jump in time to, like you will see in a moment in the trailer, to lock door, or pass through a broken wall that acts as a door, but you can also use it to fight enemies. You will see in the trailer that you can sneak by enemies, and there are lots of different things and mechanics related to it. Of course, jumping in time uses your time suit energy to do so, so you cannot really like escape constantly from it. But there are other mechanics tied to the time jump, the instant time jump, that while I'm not going to spoil today, many people actually already posted on the internet about ideas and theories on how you can use it. And let me just say they are quite close to the general concept of it. We did a bunch of things on how the instant time jump works, because we wanted to expand the idea. Lots of people also commented that, hey, this is like the Titanfall 2 level, that one Titanfall 2 level. And yes, the game was inspired by that mechanic that we saw there in Titanfall 2, we saw it in Dishonored 2, we saw it in Starfield. Lots of games played around with the idea, like for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, we wanted to make a whole game based on that idea. The idea is mind-blowing, it has lots of possibilities, so we grabbed that and we did lots of things on top of it to make it, well, a whole game based on that idea. I remember one fellow fan posted, and how will you keep the player engaged for so many hours with this mechanic? Well, jumping in time is one of the ideas, but the mechanics can do so much more that, of course, like I mentioned, I'm not going to spoil today, but the idea will be to show more as the development goes through, and that you will see there are lots of possibilities to play around with. But not only on the terms of time travel, the game is also a Metroidvania, and we are not taking the word like lightly as a marketing bit or anything like that. The game is a literal Metroidvania, meaning the map is a ginormous thing, a technical challenge that we managed to craft by dividing the space station into areas. The areas, or like in another games, you will know them as biomes. So the ice world, the lava world, well, we have here the laboratory area, which is where experiments are conducted. And the other one you saw in the trailer is the, well, you see the other two areas, which is one, the residential area, where the actual crew mates of the entire space station are living in, but also you see glimpses of the botanics area, meaning the whole garden department where the plants of the space station are breathed and bring to life, well, generate oxygen for the ship. So like that you will see lots of different areas, and the idea of these areas is that they are literally interconnected. If you were to see like a whole map of the ship, you will be able to, well, traverse it all and go back and forth. They are all interconnected, and you can access them using different abilities, time abilities or your weapons, as you saw in the trailer. And each ability basically acts as a key, like a key to a door, well, a key to access that area, or go back to a previous area, to a new area of a new section of that area that you haven't explored before. Meaning it's an straight up Metroidvania with all the intended meaning of the world, like you can see in other Metroidvania titles. We aren't taking anything from it, and we're just giving it our own spin with time, which is very fun, honestly. Because when we came up with the concept of the game was like, okay, we have this very cool idea of this game. Oh my god, not this game, but this mechanic of jumping between two timelines. What game we could do based on this idea? And this is a very fun thing to answer. And if you search on the internet, you will see that we already attempted this. The whole game, the concept of it, was born in the year 2019, meaning 7 years ago, when we were in the university, the Da Vinci School for Game Design and Programming. We had an assignment where we needed to just make a cool game out of good production values and game design and so on and so forth. And we thought about a cool concept based on this inspiration from Titanfall 2. And we created a puzzle game using this idea. like if you were playing, I don't know, Portal or Talos Principle or games of that genre. And we went and, well, we just did it. We for the assignment, and that was basically about it. It was also called Tempus Vitae. The name was always there. It was a very fun idea. So we had that puzzle game, and it was very fun. But it has some scalability issues, I would say. Not scalability. The whole implementation of the puzzles wasn't like up to par with what we wanted today, present time, which is a much bigger game that the current audiences want. Not that I'm saying that puzzle games or this puzzle game particularly wouldn't work, but not on what we wanted to do, particularly after making Icy Red, right? The thing was experienced in the shooter genre. So, what big game or pseudo big game could work using this ability that will really help it to stand out, to shine on its own? And that's where the Metroidvania genre came to be. Because Metroidvania is all about exploration, and what better way to explore something than to have an ability that encourages you to explore a room in two different timelines to properly get a general grasp of it, with all the details, to see all the walls and all the nuts and cracks that we change it around with each timeline. So that's how we decided that the game should be a Metroidvania title. And this was like really fun, honestly, to work around with, and very difficult. Let me tell you a bit more about the technical challenges of it, because it wasn't easy at all. One of the biggest difficulties, of course, was how we can make the player jump between two timelines at any medium notice without the game stuttering. Because, of course, well, even despite having like great PCs today, and not even talking about consoles, like great PCs, it would still wouldn't work. And the solution was a very funny one. We have the two environments, meaning the present timeline and then the future timeline, literally one on top of the other. So when you press the Q button, you are literally transported 100 units inside of the Unity engine to the new room, which everything has like turned on, like meaning all the graphics are always turned on there. So it's instant. It's always loaded, but only loaded for this very room that you are in, because otherwise we don't want the player to have the whole game loaded. It will be a lot. So we have also this very complicated node-based system where the game loads on demand different things when it's necessary and the player progresses through different rooms. This is like a very much abbreviated concept of what the game is actually doing behind the scenes. It's like nuts. The code is very advanced. I'm a programmer myself because, well, I coded most of Icy Red and I cannot get a single bit of that code. That's too much for me. But it's been very fun to work alongside some very talented programmers that really wanted to just have the best game out there for everyone. Because, well, that's one of the other things about this game. This game is massive. You probably saw in the Latin American Game Showcase announcement where they were saying this is like the biggest, most ambitious thing ever from Argentina. And, well, we're for real. 4 years in development, ginormous team, lots of financial bets to make it work. And, well, here we are. And it's really fun. I mean, not only looks fun to watch, well, hopefully, if you're watching this and you're having fun, please let me know in the chat. Yes, I'm having fun. But also, it's fun to play. It's very intriguing to look at, to play around with. It has lots of cool mechanics. So we are trying to stand out in the Argentinian video game industry because we are part of it. I'm also part of the Argentinian Game Dev Association. So I take it even more seriously. I want the industry to grow, and this game is our example of it, our biggest creative offer we could make, and we are very proud. So with that said, and with I don't want to overextend this, please, by all means, if you're watching this, do drop us a wishlist on the Steam page. A follow also. There are 2 buttons, wishlist and follow. Twice the wishlist, the super wishlist. Follow us on social media, because we will be doing like this behind the scenes where I'm talking about the game. Well, there will be many more things to show about it. If you are really interested in the game and want to see even more things, the team has already started on social media, on Reddit, Twitter, and all those things, to post sneak peeks of different areas of the game, because the game is so massive. There are like so many things to share of the development and the secrets behind it all. So start following there. There is a Discord server that we will be doing some private playtests from in the Discord Wyborg server, so you can play with the game eventually, not today, but you will be part of it if you are the very first to join. So I hope you enjoy this sneak peek with, well, not the whole development team, but at least me for today. I am Luciano Musela, the game director for the game. I hope you enjoyed our quick time with Tempus Vitae announcement trailer, and I will be talking to you all very soon. Wishlist the game. Take care. Bye bye.